and welcome. You're watching Good Times, and with me is someone whose movies we all grew up watching, and well, he says those were the best mistakes of his life. So what an interesting name for your book, The Best Mistakes of My Life. So which was the bestest of the best mistakes?
The name is definitely intriguing, and some of the grandest moments of my life.
Gee.
Some I have retained and some I have rejected. I've called them the best mistakes because maybe if I had accepted, my life would not have been what I am today.
And it's very interesting, as I was reading it, you said that your brother, Mr. Feroz Khan, he was actually very flamboyant and he was the one who was courted to star in movies, and you also were aspiring.
Exponential growth in the industry was from a film called Dosti.
Dosti, of course, with Rajshri Banner.
The biggest blockbuster of
True.
its times. It was a 4 lakh rupee black and white film
And is the man who thinks of a
where
4 lakh?
I was the romantic lead with 2 young boys,
True.
and it beat Sangam, the great Raj Kapoor's film.
Yeah.
In those days it was costing 60 lakhs and Dosti was only 4 lakhs. So that picture gave me a tremendous boost.
But making movies then and making movies now, you have mentioned that storylines in those days were weak. And now, in today's age, the story has now become king, where the actors and the characters are just incidental.
The actors and the characters are necessary evils in the story. It's a very necessary evil. But definitely the quality of stories have improved. But in our times, there was certain melody in our songs and certain ethos in our stories which related to those times.
Ji.
Changing times demand the writers to move with the times.
Also, do you think the audience was far more forgiving then than they are now? And also the actors, like you said,
The culprit is the media. In my days, they did not have this media. अगर छींक आती है तो कहते हैं जुकाम हो गया, अगर आदमी बीमार है तो कहते हैं मर गया. तो आज तो ऐसे है कि the whole format has changed. The media is lambasting every moment. They're enjoying themselves at our cost.
So which roles or movies that you regard as one of your best?
See, there are so many of my films. You call it Silver Jubilee, Golden Jubilees, Diamond Jubilees. In those days, it was great fun. On those very rare days, I used to go to town to take a haircut. And I used to pass the cinemas my movies were playing in, and I'll see the board 75 weeks, 50 weeks, 60 weeks. I used to feel very elated, and today that the charm is gone.
The charm is gone.
By
Yeah.
Monday, you either you're king or you're a beggar.
True, true. Monday can't, सब Friday को ही decide हो जाता है.
वो तो अगर ऐसे सोचना शुरू करें, you can decide the time will come the very first show. You know.
Which has happened. The
Yeah.
verdict is announced by the end of the
Yeah.
first show. But you were doing like back to back, like 4 shifts in a day. Actors these days do 1 movie a year. So how would you compare then and now? The movies then and the movies now. I mean, we've discussed the content, but just the attitude towards work and the fame and.
Yeah, this is today's actors having it luxurious time. We worked under fans in the heat, in the storm, in the cold, whatever. We never had those luxury vans, and we ate with the unit on the location. Trucks passing by, dust on food, things like that. But nevertheless, we served the nations by working for the film industry. In my time, I'm very convinced that we made the big foundation stone for today's people who are enjoying those fruits. You see, we did come out with some good, promising blockbusters which showed the way, they kind of a beacon, and they threw the light on the road. This is the road to take.
Absolutely, sir.
And today's youngsters are very fortunate. They can go to a gym, they can have a luxury of dancing 12 days before facing the cameras, and they can have workshops. And I did not have a workshop. I never went to any drama school. I never went to any dancing school. I never went riding horses. I just did it on the spur of the moment. It was very funny. People used to come and say, "Sir, do you ride?" I say, "Yes." Can you ride a motorcycle? I say, "Yes." "Can you swim?" "Yes." "Can you drive?" I say, "Yes." "What, sir, can you not do?" I said, well, just give me time for a rehearsal. He says, like an example, in Mela, I get down from my beautiful sports car. I'm wearing a white shirt and a light grey trousers with a blue scarf, polka dotted. I just get down and they're ready for the shot. They've already set the shot. And the dance composer says, "Sir, you just have to come and lift her up on your shoulder and dance." Gori ke haath mein chandi ka challa.
I remember that song.
Carrying Mumtaz was carrying Himalayan mountain on your shoulder. She was, mashallah, she was quite, and I did it, you know.
And like Tipu Sultan, also like you transitioned, and it also for you was a huge challenge. It was the fire that happened, and that must have been a very difficult time.
Yes, you said was a precursor to some of the biggest films to come. People were enchanted and mesmerized that 30 years ago what I did on the television screen as a so-called small screen. So when I make something, I make with heart. This is, I've always believed this even in my worst circumstances, when I was lying in the hospital for months on plastic sheets with pus and blood, and people used to come and visit me with masks. I still remember a scene. Perhaps I had the rare or a unique experience of witnessing my own funeral. When people used to come with sad faces, the cabinet ministers from Delhi, a lot of my friends, including Dharmendra, crying like a child when I was in hospital. I'm there, brother, don't worry. And I'm telling all my friends, I'm going to come and see you guys in a couple of weeks, I'll be okay. And they all had such glum faces.
If a book was to be adapted into film, so who would you think would make the ideal Sanjay Khan? Zahid or Hrithik? Since you've got a family of actors.
I would cast Zahid. I love Hrithik. I love Hrithik very much. He's my son. And I think Zahid will do this role because he's seen me grow in my career, and I've seen him grow as a son. So I think he'll capture the ethos of this character more deeply, and he's the only one.
Lastly, who's your favorite actor, current generation?
My favorite actor is Hrithik Roshan. I think he's one of the best actors. And my favorite...
Every generation there is a Khan who calls the shots.
As I said...
Dilip Saab also was Yusuf Khan.
As I said, the Khans are actually very simple people. They have a heart of gold.
Yeah.
And Khans, some Khans might swagger a bit. You know, I mean, Salman. But all of them are good people. Shah Rukh, you take any one of them. In my days, my brother Firoz was such a generous and lovely man. On a Christmas Eve, when we were children, when a poor man sitting on the sidewalk with no shirts in the cold winter of Bangalore, he took out his sharkskin jacket and covered him. So the Khans are very simple people.
And well,
yeah, they are good looking, good-hearted.
Can't deny that.
Good-hearted.
Yusuf Khan became Dilip Kumar,
and they're talented.
Yeah.
So they love people.
Absolutely.
They love to share food with you.
Yeah.
They
What would we do?
love to break bread with you.
Absolutely.
So,
what would the industry and we do without the Khans?
If you hug them, they might get angry a bit.
Which is true.
But so would anybody else, you know.
Anyways, thanks to the Khans, we've got years and decades of entertainment, and it should keep going. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.